welcome to the 4th edition of Meet the Gimp. My name is Rolf Steinort and I'm recording this in Bremen, northern Germany. I left you in the last edition with this image here. Today I think I should do something about the color. This image is too green. There are a lot of ways to reduce the color, and one is the curves tool. I just click into the image, select the green channel, pull this here down, and now you see the image looks a lot more like real fog. Now I have to play here with this part of the curve to get an image which is gray and not green and not magenta. I don't want to use this method because it changes the image and I can't correct it afterwards. I could use the undo tool, but I would have to redo all the steps after that. I want to have something that I can adjust later on. There is such a way. It uses a simple filter with layers. I have here already opened the layers dialog. You see here the background, that's our image, and I add a new layer, give it the color white, and I give it a name, color correction green. Now my image is fully white, but I can change the layer mode. The layer mode is the algorithm which combines these two layers, the numbers in these two layers. You remember, every color is a number, every pixel has a set of numbers. And I choose here the multiply mode. And the image is as it was before. The multiply mode multiplies the pixels from the background with the pixels from the foreground and divides the result by 255. And in a white picture, in a white pixel, all the color channels are at 255, so multiplying by 255, dividing by 255 gives the starting point, the background. But when I reduce one channel here, it will be reduced here also, because multiplying by, say, 200 and dividing by 255 gives less. And now I choose such a color with a reduced green channel. Here we have the three colors. I have black as the background color, the foreground color, sorry. I change to white, and now you see here all red, green and blue, all channels are 255. Oh, by the way, don't be distracted by this sliders here. This is not blue, this is yellow, but when I slide this down, you see already the color that you'll get when you slide to a certain point. And you see the colors in all the other sliders here change too. Okay, I take the green slider here and go back to, let's say, 200 and something, 211. That's okay. Now I pull this color over into my picture, and I've got an image which is way too magenta. Now I can adjust with the opacity slider the intensity of my green reduction. When I go back to 0, I have the old image. When I go up, I can reduce the green channel and try to avoid to get a magenta tint into it. I think this looks quite good. I can change this every time I want. I can do fine adjustments later on when layer upon layer is stacked onto it, and the change will stay even if I change something in the underlying picture, and there are still changes to be made. This is now gray, and I want to add a little bit of blue. Again, I make a new layer, call it color correction blue, and now I want to add a little bit of blue. For that I use the screen mode, which is a little bit more complicated than the multiply mode. The colors are first inverted and then multiplied and then divided, and it's quite complicated. But here I can add the color I want to add directly. Let me start with black, and now I add a little bit of blue. This here is supposed to be blue, looks still like black, but it's very dark black. Let's look at the image here. When I switch this off here, you see now the image is definitely bluish. I can switch this off, this off. This was our starting point. This getting rid of the green, and this adding some blue. I think this is too much blue, so I reduce the opacity. I think this looks good. I can adjust it later on all the time. The layer tool is very powerful because you can stack layer upon layer, and each layer changes all the pixels coming up from below, and the possibilities are limitless, and you can do a lot of corrections on the way. Perhaps here getting a bit more or less of this here, and playing with the sliders gives a real handful of possibilities to change the color here. I think I'll have to cover the layer tool in detail in a special show, but for today it's enough, and I hope to see you around next time.